Now we're going to begin our interior layers. We have our guide through the center. Our first section will be a pie shape. These will be pivoting radial sections. The reason it's pivoting is because everything will originate from this pivot. Our first section will be here. We will travel all the way around at 90 degrees to cut this head shape. Our sections will be long pie shapes. So we're going to hold this up, measure it, and cut. You notice I had my guide there at the front. Measure, cut. If you do not see your guide, we need to reestablish and recomb where we can get enough of the guide in there. And at the end, you see how the two connect. Now that I've cut that first pie section, I will divide that in half and add a 1/2 inch to it. Comb the hair up at 90. You notice I always have this clean guide through here. So a lot of times you can get to the point where you can randomly start measuring. But if you do not see your clean cut guide, then we're either holding it wrong, sectioning it wrong. So, there's the guide. Finish that. Divide that in half. You continue working through this section, pivoting radial pie sections, combing and distributing the hair at 90 degrees, and begin cutting. When you're holding a lot of hair, only cut to your second knuckle because you may not have the distribution correct. If I'm concerned if I'm on track, I can pull this hair out at a 90 degrees and then I will notice horizontally that I have an even cut. So now I'm coming up to the ear section. Have one more before I get to my ear. We're going to do a little something different around our ears because of the recession, and then I'll show you. There's your cut. The last section. Remember we over-directed earlier around the ear. So watch as I go through the cut. Hold it at 90 degrees, parallel to the head. Begin cutting. And when you get to this last section around the ear, my recommendation is to slightly hold it up and back a little when you're in the back section. You will create a little bit a longer length around there, if you notice, right through here. But once we finish the haircut, we will softly go back and kind of point cut some of that off to have softness. For the most part, we have a clean, even cut, except for right at the ear. This will keep us from creating a hole around the ear. So I'm going to continue on the back left side, and I'm just going to go through and cut, and you can just watch. I won't really describe what's going on. When you get to the radial, right behind the radial, remember we're going to do something a little different. When we get below that parietal ridge, we're going to lift it slightly up and a little forward to keep that ear. Always check horizontally and see if your sections are blending from side to side before you go on. And if you notice, I have a rounded shape coming through the haircut. Stop.